Yo, welcome back to some more battles. We are in the next battle, and we are using a catch cup team, but the team still works theoretically in the open Great League. So we got the Wiggly into the Galarian Moltres, looking very nice, and they actually swap into the Aegis Slash. And with this Pokemon, you basically wait for them to throw a move if you are dealing a decent amount of damage back. We are going to tank this move, whatever it is. Shadow Ball, pretty significant damage, but you can see it significantly debuffs themselves and we can just farm down. Now we can just throw a bunch of body slams. It did look like we denied them, so we are going to be able to sneak in another body slam. This will not KO, but it does some good chip damage, but our opponent is shielding. Interesting. They know we have... Yeah, okay, so they GG's quit right there because I guess they finally realized we had a Wiggly in the front, so it was going to be a tough situation for them. Down a shield, we have a great lead, and that backline needed to beat quite a bit of stuff. Okay, next we're going to run into Wiggly versus the Gligar. Okay, pretty neutral matchup. We are resisting their fast moves, it looks like. So that's a positive. They are going to be able to throw this move here. They decided to go for the dig. So decent chunk. It doesn't quite KO though. We had an option to go for the Icy Wind, but we like to go for the Swift here. Kind of hoping that they do shield, and they actually throw up the shield. So now we're going to have Wiggly barely get KO'd right here after some more Fury Cutters, I guess. So now we're going to have an opportunity to farm with something. We are going to have this Gastrodon try to farm down this Flyer, which is unfortunate sometimes, but look at all this extra energy we're getting. But we do find that this Gligar is running the Night Slash version, so looks like we were able to get them to use all their energy. We fire off the Earth Power, does a decent chunk, and it does get them in range of one of our moves. So all we have to do is shield here. They decide to go for the foul play, and they finally swap into, what is that? Oh, Morpeko. So Morpeko is interesting. They are going to have all resisted moves except for the Psychic Fang here, but it only does a little bit of damage. Now they're into their dark form, but before they get a move off that is significant, we are going to be able to debuff them again. So down goes the Morpeko, and now we see the Malamar with a ton of energy though. We are going to shield here. They do elect to go for the superpower, so we're just going to elect to try to farm down at this point. This superpower will either debuff them, or we might be able to survive, and we find out that because they got debuffed twice, that Gastro is going to be able to clean up for the win. So GG's to our opponent. Looks like the farm down with the Gastro into the Gligar was the key to victory right there, as the Malamar actually has some decent play against our backline. Really good lead here. We resist everything they should be swapping, and indeed they do, but that is not an answer to our normal fairy typing, and they realize that because we didn't switch out, we know what's up. So GG's to them. Looks like the Wiggly is creating a bunch of havoc right now. We are going to have Wiggly into the Scizor. This is horrible. So we're going to go into the Scatchel immediately. They're staying in for now. Okay, they swap into the Hakamo-O. And this Hakamo-O is going to be able to do a bunch of neutral damage. We know that this could potentially be Dragon Claw, but they also have the ability to get to Brick Break, which is going to debuff us, and kind of a bait at this point. Okay, looks like... not exactly sure if they lagged or they purposely let us get to this move. Looks like it was a lag, and we are going to be able to charm this down. Expecting Scizor to come back, and this unfortunately has only one option, and that is to try to charm it down. Believe it or not, they actually go for the Trailblaze to try to get that extra Iron Head, and that's exactly what they do. But because they were so low already, we are able to charm down. Now we face this Dusclops. The good news is we actually got to the Icy Wind, so all of the moves are going to be debuffed permanently for the rest of the game. We did a good chunk of damage, probably like 35% before our Wiggly went down, and they actually went for the bait right there. We have no reason to shield anything at this point. There's Ice Punch finally, but you can see right here, they need at least 2 more Ice Punches to even come close to taking us out. But before that time, we are going to be able to get to multiple moves, and down goes their team. So GG's to our opponent. The Wiggly coming in clutch again, somehow, some way, farming down the Shadow Scizor and able to get another Icy Wind off into the Ghost type. My guess is that Scizor was pretty high attack weighted, or they just built whatever they had available, because it didn't quite feel like we should have been able to just charm that down, or at least charm it down and still get to an Icy Wind. All right, a little bit of a refresh there. We're going to have Wiggly into Lapras, Shadow Lapras that is. This is going to be pretty favorable for them still, because they get to these Sparklings quite quickly. At this point, we are going to let this one go. We are able to survive it, so that's that. We are, at this point, going to throw a Swip, and we do grab a shield, so that's not bad, but we are going to get the farm down. But all this damage gets them into low red, and this kind of comes down to what we think is in the back at this point. So we're going to go into the Gastro. This Gastro does get a Mud Slap through, so we didn't get denied. Huge Sparkling, as you can see right there. Does nearly half the health, and we're just gonna let this go because we think Cradily could be the key to victory, and that is not the case. Unfortunately, this Shadow Primate is gonna get all of the advantage they need. We do have 2 shields, but it's not gonna matter because these Rage Fist plus the Karate Chops are just adding up way quicker than we can shield and get to a move. We finally get them shieldless. There goes another Rage Fist. We get to a move. We will KO this Primate. And unless they have like a Talon, even if they're Talon, this is still not looking great. So you can see right there, they were able to just get alignment on us, and Shadow Lapras, kind of a big core breaker. All right. Down goes the team, and unfortunately unable to win. So check out the team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.